This is the US Senate's candy desk. Yup, even senators have a sweet tooth.
As the new host of the Senate's Candy Desk.
There's Hershey's with almonds, Mike and Ike's, Rolos.
Well, I am happy to be carrying on a great Senate tradition of the Senate Candy Desk.
Candy Desk is the best thing going on in Congress right now.
This drawer of sweets you see here is an age-old artifact, one owned by a lineage of American senators, yet for more than half a century, very few have known about its existence. However, this tradition has proved to be quite problematic for the American public. How so? I'll get to that very soon. At the time of uploading this video, there has been 18 owners of the Candy Desk. Some of its owners have been very notable, including Arizona Senator John McCain, the 2008 Republican presidential nominee, as well as Senator Rick Santorum of Pennsylvania, a 2012 presidential candidate. The Candy Desk has been a source of bipartisan compromise, at times being what holds the country's senators together. You heard that right. The desk has been a way to quell political tensions, despite the overwhelming polarization in Congress. Where did this delicious candy desk come from? What is the origin of this sugary safe? Well, I'll have to take you back to the mid-60s. In 1965, Broadway actor George Murphy was elected to the U.S. Senate. Despite Senate rules strictly prohibiting eating inside the chamber, freshman Senator Murphy maintained his stash of sweets, always. His desk arrangement in 1968 became the official spot of the candy desk. During Senate proceedings, senators that would pass Murphy's desk to mingle would be offered candy as a general symbol of goodwill. That's when other senators coined the term candy desk. But unfortunately for the candy desk, Senator Murphy was defeated in his 1970 re-election bid and could no longer continue being its host, having been kicked out of the Senate. Before I get to anything else, there's a couple things I need to clarify. First of all, the candy desk itself is not one specific desk, but rather a general position within the chamber, near an entrance. There have been multiple places where the candy desk has been located. However, since 1981, the desk's location has been the same, remaining in the eastern door of the Senate chamber, the busiest entrance for senators to go in and out before as well as after proceedings. Along more partisan lines, the candy desk has always been on the right side of the Senate chamber, where Republicans are clustered. Hence, ownership of the desk has always been claimed by Republicans of different varying states. Here's the state-by-state distribution of senators that have owned the candy desk across the country. The candy in the candy desk also varies. There's been lollipops, chocolate, caramels, Mike and Ike, Twizzlers, and much more. Before I continue on, I'd just like to say please subscribe. A lot of effort goes into each and every one of these videos. We pour hundreds of hours into research, editing. I also got some candy right here that I literally bought just for this segment. We're going for 100,000 subscribers, so subscribe to claim your OG ticket before 100K. Thank you so much, and let's resume the video. Candy equity has been an issue for owners of the candy desk, but the Democrats in the mid-80s actually started their own candy desk, whose supply is directly sourced from a collective candy fund pulled from their Democratic caucus. But for Republican Senator Murphy's original candy desk, for a solid 2 decades, barely anyone outside the Senate chamber knew about the desk's existence. Only when Senator Slade Gorton of Washington put out a press release did the public find out, as the release stated that Senator Gorton was now the occupant of this desk and would carry on the rich traditions started by Murphy. Following Senator Murphy's defeat, 4 senators chose to continue his tradition from the 70s into the mid-80s, and this information marks a key turning point in the desk's evolution. What you're about to hear next is very important. During the tenures of these 4 owners, the candy that filled the drawers became more specific, as well as to the state each senator represented. 3 of them supplied hard candy, while Steve Sims, the senator from Idaho, sourced the candy from corporations, which started a problematic trend. And this ethical dilemma didn't change several decades later, when in the late 90s to early 2000s, Senator Rick Santorum of Pennsylvania became the desk's owner. Being from Pennsylvania, where the Hershey company was founded, Senator Santorum supplied the desk with Hershey's as candy, directly supplied by the company itself. Hershey's shipped approximately 100 pounds of chocolate 4 times a year to Santorum to supply the candy desk with. And when Santorum lost his re-election bid, only then did the company stop shipping candy to the Senate. Transcending being a mere piece of furniture, the candy desk itself poses a dilemma. It raises questions of ethics. Senate rules currently forbid members accepting gifts worth $100 or more a year from a single source. With how much candy is supplied being worth hundreds of dollars at many times, critics have pointed to this as a form of bribery and lobbying. This is damaging, especially when you consider that these candy companies that are suppliers of the desk, such as Nestle, Hershey's, they've all engaged in lobbying practices from presidential administration to presidential administration for policies that can yield more profits. So clearly there's a conflict of of interest presented, as these very senators have the ability to create the very policies that either help or regulate these same candy companies. And because it's politics, there's been loopholes and ways for many senators to get around this. As long as the gift, or in this case candy, is produced in a state that the senator is from and their staff as well as themselves don't use the gift, they're allowed to receive it. So a senator from Ohio can accept the Buckeyes and offer that to visitors, or a senator from Georgia can offer their states as peanuts. And the latest successor of the candy desk is Senator Todd Young of Indiana, who has been its owner since 2023. Aside from potential problems resulting from the candy desk, the desk itself has been a key witness to many historic moments in American politics. It was directly referenced during a 1997 debate over the defense budget when a senator compared the size of microchips to the size of the desk's candy. During President Bill Clinton's impeachment trial, the president's legal team actually complained about being denied access to the desk's candy during proceedings. And as recently as the first impeachment trial of Donald Trump in early 2020, a senator was caught eating a candy bar obtained from the desk. But regardless of all this history and debate, what do you think? Should the candy desk continue to exist? Let me know in the comments below. Also, Incus is now on Instagram, so you can follow at _Incus. Much love.